Hello and welcome to Sharing TV. My name is Imran Azam and this is brought to you in association with the people OuiShare.com. We're backstage at OuiShareFest, that's hashtag OSFest14. As you know, we've been here reporting, meeting movers and shakers, speakers and other influencers and regular attendees, finding out exactly what's been going on at this year's fest. So we're here with Ariane Conrad, who is the book doula. She's going to tell us about her talk just on stage about 5-10 minutes ago, and introduce her to her work in the sharing economy. Hello, Ariane.
Hi, Imran.
So the book doula, tell us about it.
I help people with big ideas birth books.
Birth books?
Birth books. I use that verb because a doula is actually another word for a midwife. It's relatively frequently used in the U.S., so the brand actually works in the U.S. And it's a good metaphor. It's at least 9 months, if not closer to 12 or 14, to bring a book from the concept phase until it's done and going into production. And that's what I do.
So what's your relationship with the sharing economy?
The sharing economy came up in a bunch of different books. I was working with labor organizers. I was working with environmental activists in the United States. I was working with people who were trying to create more economic opportunities, specifically for low-income communities. And over and over again, there were like these little sort of, hints about the sharing economy in all of these different conversations, and I thought I have to check this out. So this is actually my second year at OuiShareFest. I came last year, I knew no one, and this year I'm like, it's a huge love fest. And I'm on stage. Woo!
And how did it go for you on stage?
It went great.
Okay, was it a panel session that you had up there?
No, I was up there solo.
Okay, and what was the reaction like to your delivery?
Individually, people came up to me afterwards and seemed to have been moved, which was what I was going for. I was in the inspirational track. But my experience on stage was definitely, I felt a little bit of coolness from the audience. There's a lot of, business. A minister from France, from the French government, had been on stage just before me. So there were a lot of people interested in politics, and, I was talking about storytelling and being sexy, because I think the sharing economy needs to get sexier.
Well, I'd have to agree. Sorry, you've taken me totally off track there for a second. So when we talk about the sharing economy, to get serious for a second, sometimes it can get stuck in...
I'm totally serious about it needing to get sexier.
Don't take me off track again.
All right.
So the economics of it seems to be what a lot of people focus on, and I suppose you can find your motivations being satisfied or your intentions being satisfied in the sharing economy if you're a kind of a VC, or if you're somebody who's looking for a movement to associate with. Where is this heading? Is it a social movement, or is it simply something that's going to be at worst manipulated and kind of establish the status quo?
I think it's a social movement. I like the way Neil Gorenflo of Shareable talks about it. It's something much broader than just the economic bits and the businesses. It's, all about people getting together and getting reconnected after a period of time in which we were really dehumanized, I think, by the economy and by the political process, particularly in my country. I hail from the United States. People are passive, have been passive consumers for a long time, disconnected. People didn't, have failed, no longer know any of their neighbors. It's a sad Bowling Alone, the Robert Putnam book. It's a sad state of affairs, and people are hungry for connection. And that's, I think, what's happening with this, as well as, of course, people kind of coming in and finding it a rich source of sort of, the venture capitalists coming in and finding it an interesting their newest thing, and the word trend, which I hate. But I think also ultimately the sharing economy is actually just one part of a much broader paradigm shift, which is a little bit what I spoke about in my speech today, that we are, shifting towards more connection and connectedness, interbeing in general.
I'm getting a sense of spiritualism here.
I am, I feel like we're missing like a sacred sort of basis of things. I think when we wake up and realize that we're all one species, humanity is all one, and the competitive, like I need to hoard things, is crazy. It makes no sense at all. You know, it's much better for me and for my own security and safety when I know that other people are also well taken care of. It's a practical matter, but it's also sort of a moral matter. Yeah, so I guess it's spiritual.
Okay, Ariane, I can see that we're both cold here.
Yes.
And we want to go inside, don't we? So there you have it, Ariane Conrad, the book Doula, which for anybody outside of the United States means the book midwife. Check her out on Twitter on at
Ariane S. Conrad.
Ariane S. Conrad. We'll be getting back to you later on today with other speakers and other participants at the fest. Follow the hashtag OuiShareFest14. Thanks for watching.